If everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we stay in our cell. We get fed in our cell. We don't come out our cell at all, and that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. I hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Big up to you both. Thank you so much. Tori, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering, awesome. Where's Tory? Like,
I wanted to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cup. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Now, live from the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Low.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Low, the truth, from 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Low from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. 101.7 The Truth. Tory Low Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And nothing but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How y'all doing out there in Radio Land? How y'all doing in the chat? We got another powerful conversation for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Thank you for joining me this Tuesday, April 7, 2026. And it's election day. We got a lot of things going on with the courts this spring election. They always say that the spring election is always the lowest voter turnout, but we got some spring stuff going on with the courts, major court ideas, the Supreme Court ideas. I think the liberals kind of run this area. I think they kind of run this area. We got
somebody from the Republican Party challenging. But I'll say this: usually when it comes to judges, I'm trying to go with the ones that I could get a good outcome with the civil and the human rights ideas. At least get a judge in there that's going to help out. So that may not, that may kind of weigh on what I'm trying to vote for. But like I said, however y'all want to vote, but I'm going to try to stick with the judge that kind of can give me an advantage when it comes to the disrespect. When it comes to discrimination, I'm going to try to see who's the best decision for that. So that's my decision. But you got to make a decision. It's election day, and it's time to vote. We got some article. We may run an article on that. But who do we got in the chat? Who do we got in the chat today? We got Essie in the chat, Kawanda in the chat, Josh in the chat, Lori Patterson in the chat. I see you, Jeff. I see you, Jeff, in the chat. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real is in the chat. Who else we got in the chat? Kawanda in the chat. Salute. Is voting. We got an article on the voting today. If you watch this rebroadcast live, we got some video. Let's listen.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we are outside live at the Zeidler building this morning. It's one of many polling places across the county and the state where people will be going to put their vote in and make their voice heard. We've actually talked to a number of people who are just heading in now, specifically the big top ticket of every ballot you'll see across the state. You'll find the race to replace that Supreme Court justice. Let's talk about the candidates, though. We've got Chris Taylor, an appeals judge from Madison. She's the liberal-backed candidate. Then there's Maria Lazar from Brookfield, the conservative-backed candidate. Both made stops around the state this weekend, getting their final pitch into undecided voters. They both say their political leanings won't influence their rulings if elected. As for undecided voters, though, believe it or not, there's actually a lot of them. More than 50% of registered voters actually are undecided, according to the latest Marquette Law School poll.
With so many people undecided, we're less sure about this election than we normally would be, because we don't normally see more than half of voters undecided.
And we know that the polls close at 8. Again, just opened about 30 minutes ago. Of course, the outcome of this race will either maintain or expand the court's liberal majority.
Hey, well, I'll say this. I'm a vote many times when it comes to state ideas. I'm a definitely vote. I guess people don't, should I keep it to myself, Andrew, or should I just say it? I may stick with the left on this one, when it comes to human and civil rights and things like that. They kind of more open to those ideas when we coming into these elections. So I have a lot of issues when it comes to the Supreme Court, when it comes to a lot of the cases of human and civil rights with people that's on the elephant gangs, on the elephant gang side. So when it comes to judges, I'm definitely going. I'm gonna have to run with the donkey, because maybe we can get a little edge when it comes to a lot of the lawsuits that we file, that we organize when it comes to the violations of the human and civil rights ideas. So, lately it's been a lot of Republican judges that's been kind of not really pushing the idea or kind of letting a lot of these civil and human rights lawsuits be dealt with in a way where I'm satisfied or seeing what a judge should actually be doing with a lot of these cases. So I'm gonna definitely lean with the donkey gang on these court for right now. The court, when it comes to court judges, hey, I'm doing donkey gang right now, because some of those people on the right, I don't know what they, sometimes they be trying to have a hard hand when it comes to these civil and human rights cases. So I don't like that. I definitely don't like it. So without saying no names, I'm going to just throw that out there. I'm going to live it up for you. Salute to Mo the Elephant joining the chat Brewers joining the chat. So, hey, we got Hannah Dugan, too. We got something on Hannah Dugan, Judge Hannah Dugan. Now, she was the one that was trying to assist, or they saying that allegedly she was trying to assist somebody that was running from ICE out the back door of the courtroom. And here we go. She trying to appeal or get it dropped. If y'all watching us, we broadcast live. We got an update on Judge Hannah Dugan. She had a lot of political involvement with the ICE agent and somebody that was in her courtroom. She chose to get him out the back door, and I guess it backfired on her. Let's listen.
Grant her a new trial. In December, a jury found her guilty of obstructing an immigration arrest outside her courtroom. Now, Dugan claims she was immune from the prosecution and that agents did not have a lawful right to make an arrest in the courthouse. In his ruling, U.S. District Court Judge Lynn Edelman wrote Dugan's statement that she should take the heat for her actions and that she was in the doghouse with the chief judge for trying to help that guy being arrested, quote, suggests that she knew her actions were not on behalf of the court. Judge Edelman also wrote, when reviewing a challenge to the sufficiency of the evidence, the court will neither re-weigh the evidence nor second-guess the jury's credibility determinations. Dugan faces up to 5 years in prison. Sentencing has not been set.
Man, she gonna have to eat that, though. You know what I mean? This is why I say, hey, as a judge, many times when you see judges going down like this, and I always tell the regular people, hey, y'all got to pay attention to what happened with Hannah Dugan. And I think people listen because you don't hear a lot of people going out there trying to take risks and standing outside and trying to put themselves in harm's way to go against ICE. You don't see a lot of that, but Hannah Dugan is the blueprint. If you go against ICE, you might end up like Hannah Dugan. And if it's a judge, what you think is going to happen to you? And I've been telling people before this Hannah Dugan, you better be careful because that's a gray area. That's a gray area messing with ICE. And now y'all seeing a live example of a judge facing 5 years over this. Facing 5 years. Some people saying that I'm leaning donkey gang with the Supreme Court, and they saying that pick a side. And I don't pick sides. I do whatever I feel like doing. You may want to pick a side. I just feel like doing what I feel like doing, and I ain't in no game. I get to do what I feel like. I get to say whatever I want to. I don't have no membership with nothing. It ain't nobody. I do whatever I think about is the best choice for me and what I'm trying to do. So if Donkey Gang got something that I like, I might go and say what's up with the Donkey Gang. If Elephant Gang got something I like, I might say what's up. I mix it both up. I mix them both up. Hopefully between the two, I can get what I want. But bots don't understand it. Hey, look, when we come back, we're going to have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
And that's Tory Low, bringing you all the action and all the smoke. Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District. Your clean water partner, serving Greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
Are you planning a special event? Do you need a personal chef? Either way, make it tasteful. I'm Alicia the Chef, owner of Tasteful Events Catering, and we create customized food experiences for any occasion. We bring quality, flavor, and professionalism to every table. Whether it's a special event or everyday meal solutions, we focus on delivering more than just food. We create experiences. Book today or learn more online at www.tastefuleventscatering.com.
Hi, I'm Greg Fritsch, president of the Center for Veterans Issues, inviting you to get involved in supporting the CVI mission. The Center for Veterans Issues is proud to serve veterans across Wisconsin. Each year, we help more than 1,200 veterans stay housed, find meaningful employment, and connect with the support they've earned. From housing assistance and job training to case management and suicide prevention outreach, our team is here to help veterans build stable, independent lives. If you're a veteran in need of support, visit cvivet.org. Donations can also be accepted at cvivet.org/donate.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Say your name. Tory Low. Yeah. On the block by the courthouse. Phone ring, he already know. Mama crying in the hallway. Who gon' speak? She say, Tory Low. North side, south side, same pain, same tears on a different door. He the one they call when they can't breathe, when they can't take it anymore. Advocate, Tory Low. He gon' ride when it's time, let the city know. From the hood to the front row. If you hurt, say the word, he gon' stand 10 toes. Advocate, Tory Low. Every step, every march,
101.
that snow.
7 The Truth, Tory Low Show. Trump warns whole civilization will die tonight. Wow. If a deal with Iran isn't reached. Wow. Strong words from the president. Strong words. That the whole civilization will die tonight. Oh, wow. What you say? What time?
8 p.m. At
8 p.m. today. Wow. We got some video on this. I want to hear. I heard it, but I want to kind of bring this in front of Truth Nation. If you watch as we broadcast live, we got video on this. Let's listen.
This is a post from President Donald Trump on his Truth Social account within the past 20 minutes. And I want to read the whole thing because he said in the very first line, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran." Now, this is in reference to that 8 p.m. deadline that he imposed on the leaders of Iran in terms of reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and saying that he was going to bomb the power facilities there and the bridges. And one other thing, just for the sake of context, we've been kind of mentioning that experts have saying this could be a violation of international law. Why is that? This woman here, this is retired Lieutenant Colonel Rachel Van Landingham, and she did an interview with PBS. And just for context here, in terms of why this would be a violation of humanitarian law, for those power plants, let's say by chance civilians are getting their electricity there for refrigeration, for medicine, and they need it for these hospitals. Disrupting that is why that would be an interruption of humanitarian law and a violation of that and considered a war crime. Well,
all right, well, I'll say this. It's going to be interesting when 8 p.m. happen. I mean, when 8 p.m. come to see, was he just bluffing or was he trying to get them to sign, come aboard and try to sign something to try to create, an advantage for maybe the United States? I don't know. This war is all who can gain the advantage. And I don't think Trump is worried about war crimes. I mean, I think ain't Bush wanted for war crimes? I mean, it's a couple presidents that's wanted in other countries outside the United States for war crimes. So he'd be on a list of several other presidents. Ain't Bush Sr. and Bush Jr. on the list?
Bush Jr. for sure.
Bush Jr. And who else? Who else on that list?
Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu.
Right. For war crimes.
For war crimes, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, here we go. Is he bluffing? Maybe Trump is bluffing. Because what would that mean? Are they going to just start? Is this a nuclear idea, or is this just regular bombing? Because we all know they've been bombing for a long time. So if they're bombing things and it hasn't resolved anything and they're still fighting, it would have to be something stronger than a bomb. Are they going to drop a nuclear warhead on some of this stuff? If they're going to eliminate them that way? Or are they? Because they've been bombing since this happened. They've been hitting targets. I'm just saying, like, you're talking about obliterating something. I don't think that bombing obliterates anything, because it seems like the more they bomb, the more things keep going the same. So it ain't like they ain't been bombing. But is this something more sinister, like a nuclear idea, that they gonna just nuke something? I don't know. We're gonna find out at 8 p.m. We're gonna find out at 8 p.m. But like, I think this is terrible when the loss of life, when somebody keeps talking about dropping things on people. I don't like that, because we've been bombed on right here in America. So a lot of our black communities they dropped bombs. I don't know. I believe this is a bluff. Brewer says, fake, not going to happen. They don't even have nuclear bombs. Aliens, for one, would never even allow it. So it's bug kiss. LOL. I don't know. When you talk about whole civilizations will die tonight, that sounds like, to me, like y'all finna drop the nuke on them. And I'm hoping that's not the case, because you don't want a lot of people to be. This is like, as a black person in America, I don't like to hear conversations like this. Now, for economics and colonialism and Western culture and, you know, all of that, they like to destroy and take over. And this is how America, you know, this is the American way. You don't agree with me, whole civilizations will die tonight. This is where, the black culture is a victim of some of this mentality. So America is at its finest right now if this is what they planning on doing to somebody if they don't sign the contract. This is worse than Pooh Shiesty. This is worse than Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. Y'all talk about Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. They saying if you don't sign the deal, we gonna bomb on you. Now, we just had a whole thing with Pooh Shiesty trying to get out his contract, and what he did, I don't see no difference from what Pooh Shiesty did than what Trump and them talking about. Well, do you see a difference, Andrew?
Yeah, this one's a little harsher, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I guess it's more, if the government doing it, it ain't no repercussions.
Is America Suge Knight? That's the real question.
This is Suge Knight behavior. I'm finna do it by any means necessary. I'll take a call before we run the break. If y'all want to chime in on this, 833-212-1017. I usually open up the lines at 2 p.m. We got guests today, so I'll take a couple guests. If y'all want to add to the conversation, like with this Trump talking about, he's warning that whole civilization will die tonight. That's a lot for a president to be talking about. And hopefully he just playing poker. It's a bluff.
He started the morning with that too, Tory. That's like you wake up, you get your cup of coffee, and then boom, I'll eradicate a civilization.
Right. Wow. Oh, wow. That's terrible. That's terrible. Like, I don't like to see little kids, a whole civilization. I mean, kids, grandmothers. I don't like that talk. I don't like that talk. I don't care who it's coming from. I don't know if they strategically sat in a meeting and say, okay, we're going to try to bluff. Maybe they not holding a good hand and you at the table and you go all in trying to bluff. But we going to find out tonight at 8 p.m. Maybe tomorrow on the show, we going to know what happened.
Iran has said they're not going to sign anything. So
okay, well then they calling the bluff. They calling this bluff. They been bombing. They said that they hit a bunch of targets. But now what's the difference? Okay, you saying you finna eliminate the people that live over there now? You trying to wipe out a whole civilization? That means kids, animals, dogs, domestic, everything. Even the people that seem to be happy that they could have possibly been excited about the old regime being taken down, now these people up at risk. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have a pop culture report. I don't like this. I don't like this whole concept of obliterating civilizations. A lot of innocent life, and I got to draw the line at innocent life being lost on this one. I can't cheer for that. I can't think that that's something that's acceptable. I can't. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have a pop culture report, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Low.
You are listening to The Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th at Franklin Field, featuring live performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. There will be craft margaritas, Milwaukee's best taco vendors, authentic lucha libre wrestling, an exotic car showcase, a Chihuahua beauty pageant, art installations, and so much more. Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th. Get your tickets at tacoandtequilafestival.com.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
This True Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Brewers set for Game 2 of their series against Boston tonight, coming off a win over the Red Sox 8-6 on Monday. It got a little hot last night. Wilson Contreras had words with starter Brandon Woodruff after being hit by a pitch on the hand. Contreras then slid hard to second base. Manager Pat Murphy earlier today.
What happens on the field takes care of itself. You know, I mean, and I'm not going to comment on Wilson's comments. I've competed against Wilson for a lot of years and respect him as a player and has great talent.
It's a 5:45 first pitch, coverage starting at 5 o'clock on our sister station, WTMJ. And in men's college hoops.
Hail to the champions! Hail to Michigan for the first time in 37 years.
The final call on CBS. Michigan was able to hold on to beat UConn 69-63. It's the first men's basketball championship for the Big Ten in 26 years. This True Sports Update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel.
This is the Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Out the frying pan to the fire where I landed at. Back where I was damaged at. Still brought a hammer back to advocate. It's the type of heat that melt the candle wax. Making moves to handle that. Never had to scam or trap the advocate. This for every mother who was beaten, who was bruised. If he put his hands on you, don't hesitate to move. What would Tory do? The advocate. Seeing how you move, I can see
101.7 The Truth. Tory Low Show Pop Culture Report. Brought to you by Tory Low and Andrew in studio. There's a lot going on in these pop culture streets, but I want to get to this Dawn Staley situation. This is a situation that's growing with her and Gino, the other coach. I guess they're saying that he's 11-time national champion coach. But that conflict is starting to bother me because Gino is not apologizing to Dawn Staley. Exactly. But what's going on, Andrew, with this?
So Dawn Staley and Gino Ariyama, the head coach of the UConn women's basketball team. Tory, we're interested in women's hoops thanks to these two. So let's play the clip from Gino on a Saturday night, upset about an alleged slight handshake.
For 41 years, I've been coaching, and I've been, 25 Final Fours. And the protocol is, before the game, you meet at half court. Anybody ever see that before? Two coaches meet at half court and they shake hands. Correct? You ever see it? They announce it on the loudspeaker. And I waited there for like 3 minutes.
So over a handshake?
No, it happened though.
It did. That's the craziest thing.
It happened. He's lying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And there's video to prove it as well. There's video of them shaking hands. So I don't know what his deal was. UConn ended up losing that game in the semifinal of the NCAA tournament. South Carolina eventually loses to UCLA for the national championship.
Right.
Either way, a lot of brouhaha, a lot of issue, but there's obviously conflict between Dawn Staley and Gino after this game. So then Gino comes out and puts out a non-apology, essentially apologizing to the staff of South Carolina. Not to Dawn Staley, but to the staff.
Oh, wow.
Which got a lot of people very upset about that as well. Now, Dawn Staley had a statement today. Came out on social media via the South Carolina Women's Hoops account, Tory, and she took the high road. She said, quote, "One moment doesn't define a career. It doesn't change the impact he's had on growing women's hoops." Quote, "I spoke with Gino, and let's be clear, I have a great deal of respect for him and what he's meant to the game. One moment doesn't define a career." So she has now gone out and talked to Gino as well. Gino still really hasn't given an apology.
She didn't win the championship this year.
No, she did not.
So if she would have won, would her demeanor been the same? Because neither one of them won this year. So it's you don't want to pollute the actual winners with this kind of press.
See, they're better than me because I would.
Okay. Well, I would. You got to stand down. And she did the right thing because she didn't go on to win the title.
The tough part for me, Tory, is that I don't think she has anything to apologize for.
No, she doesn't. But what I'm saying is the right thing to do is if both of y'all lost, y'all both lost. Y'all didn't win the title. So y'all need to put a kibosh to this. This has to be, let the people that actually won have their moment. You don't want the media to be cluttered with this back and forth. So she did the right thing by putting a kibosh on it. Now, I believe if they would have won the national championship, now it would have showed that, okay, he was hating on her because she was actually transitioning into what he's out of his prime. And here she come. So,
the sun's setting on UConn.
But Gino is definitely wrong for his delusionality of trying to not just come out and just be accountable for his behavior, but actually making up a fake excuse of fake outrage. And a lot of people do this to try to, let's say you confront somebody about something they have done, they'll try to find an angle to say that this is where the energy came from, and this is probably where a lot of people feel like he's a man in women's sports. Here come Coach Staley. She's an upcoming coach. She's on the rise. He's probably near the back end of his success. And there's the transferring of the guard right there that's going on.
And this isn't the first time he's had run-ins with female coaches, Tory. If you remember back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Gino and Pat Summitt, the legendary coach for the women's volunteer team at Tennessee, they had a beef. So this isn't just Gino going after, he has a history.
It's time for Gino to go.
Yeah?
Sometimes when you pass your time and you see other people coming up, there's always some kind of discrepancy going on. And I talked about it when Michael Jordan beat the Pistons and Isaiah Thomas didn't shake Jordan's hand. That kind of stained Isaiah Thomas's career because he didn't go get a chance to play for the gold medal. And when you talk about the Detroit Bad Boys, you don't even get the prestige in that because Jordan went on to win 6 titles and things like that. So Isaiah Thomas kind of got lost in the shuffle by not doing that small gesture of sportsmanship. I don't know if this is going to be the same for Gino, but at the same time, he's on the back end and Staley is on the front end of her success. And he needs to go on and try to retire and allow the game to progress without his antics.
And for Isaiah Thomas, too, missed out on the dream team as well, like you mentioned. And, maybe Gino has another career coming for himself, Tory. Maybe he can work into, conflict management. Maybe that's, what his next role is, Or maybe he can work as, a body language specialist, figuring out when's the right and wrong time to shake hands.
Sometimes, what generation is him? Ain't he a baby boomer?
He's got to be.
So they say this is typical behavior from baby boomers. They kind of stubborn.
Well, this is
they might go out in the stubborn. He's just stubborn. He's old, stubborn, and he's set in his ways.
Yeah, can't lead a horse to water. This is the most college women's hoops we've talked all season, Tory. So I am on the side of this is actually good for the sport, helping the game grow. The
controversy.
People on the Tory Low show are talking about it. So something's working.
I'll say this. It is bringing interest to the game because now we're finding out who these characters are. For those that don't actually follow women's basketball, now we're getting into these controversial moments that now we're actually digging into who are these people, what do they mean to women's basketball, what do they mean to the sport. You see with Angel Reese and
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, that episode kind of pushed people into the professional idea of women's basketball. But I think now Angel Reese is now going over to the Atlanta team, the Atlanta Dream, after 2 seasons with Chicago. So I'm following certain things with the women's basketball that I probably wouldn't have never followed if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. So with Dawn Staley, maybe I'll start paying a little bit more attention to detail with the overall concept of women's basketball.
Huge for the program. All right, let's talk men's basketball. The NBA, this divorce is going to be the ugliest divorce in Milwaukee sports history, Tory. Giannis versus the Bucks. The Bucks versus Giannis. Well, this is getting bad, man.
Well, the Bucks are under investigation because of how Giannis is being managed with the injury. Or can he play, or are they just sitting him down?
Or is this an injury at all? So, according to Giannis's camp, he's saying, I want to play the final games with my brothers, Alex and Thanalis. Yeah. I want to play the final games. The Bucks are saying, no, we're shutting you down for the season. The Bucks say that he has not rehabbed his knee injury, his calf injury the right way, that he didn't do his 3-on-3 training and everything else in the Bucks facility. So, because of that, they can't let him come back. He needs to do all of the rehab
Well, the
steps.
Bucks are trying to keep their investment.
Oh, yeah.
Giannis is an investment, and in the offseason there will be a lot of trade talks. We already know that that's going to happen. But right now, Giannis said he's willing to play. He's ready. And he has his brothers out there, Alex and Thanasis, they're, throwing lobs to each other out there on the court. And I'll say this, maybe he wants to have a moment before he leaves Milwaukee to have an opportunity to play professional with all three brothers on the court.
And I think that's what should happen.
Now, that have never happened before. So the moment he takes that position, that's some kind of history going on.
Yeah.
That's NBA history. If Giannis plays with his three brothers at the same time on the court, that is NBA history.
It's not only that. I think it's pro history. I think it's only happened one other time in professional North American sports story. So, yeah, this would be a big deal.
So he should be. The Bucks don't want to take that chance. He gets out there, something happens to where he has a injury that they can't get a king's ransom. Then they're going to say they wish they hadn't let him go out there.
I think that they should let him do this story because he's given so much to the city. Brought a championship in 2021. It's a great moment in sports history. And, just let him do this thing and have a goodbye to the fans. That's the other big thing. The fans who have cheered for him, the highs, the lows, let him have this. Don't play him 48 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
I think coming out of the All-Star break, a lot of people was questioning, was Giannis going to even play?
Yeah.
As far as the Bucks organization and the trade value. He ended up playing. Then he ended up getting hurt. Something happened where he ended up getting hurt. So I think that this is the second time within a certain amount of months that Giannis was getting hurt. The third time, it may be something tragic. If he goes out there and tears an Achilles or tears an ACL or something like that, or MCL or ACL, now, okay, the trade value isn't there.
See, and this is all about communication. We talk about communication.
But all he have to do is get out there for one play. He don't have to stay on the court. If he can get out there for at least, a couple plays, then he can create the history and he can move on.
And that's what I'm saying. Just give him the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, let it happen, and then let's move on. Let him have the goodbye, and we can keep this moving. All about communication. Communicate, Tory.
Well, like I said, now you're seeing a lot of the business take place. Now, the Bucks organization allowed for the family, his brothers, to be a part of the organization. And now you have a situation where now he's asking for one more thing to take place. Let me play with my brothers, because if he moves on to another team, I don't think another team is going to be as generous as the Bucks with allowing the other brothers to all play at the same time. So this may be the only time that he can actually have that moment. Not to say that his brothers are not going to play in the NBA or continue to play in the NBA, but the Bucks was very generous to the family and allowing them to have a home, have a team that would, support a lot of the things that they were trying to do right here in the city of Milwaukee. But I think that if he's traded to another team, like to a big market even, or if he chooses to be in a bigger market, I don't think you see that. Maybe L.A. L.A. let Bronny play. L.A. let LeBron James allowed his son to play. And so you see L.A. was able to bend a little bit for the number one basketball player right now, LeBron James. So Giannis is in the top three. So maybe a team may allow something to happen. Who's better, Bronny or Thanasis?
I think it's Bronny.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Let's see if they go one-on-one. Maybe they'll go to L.A. and maybe we can see what happens. Maybe it'll be a family affair over there. I don't know. But look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more Pop Culture Report. Stay locked in right here on Tory Low.
More of the Tory Low Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth, Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Sweet Talk's medical spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talk offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application. Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah. I came from the curb where the gutter speak fluent pain. Rusty hydrants leak memories every time it rained. No cable in the crib, we just stared at the ceiling stains. Plotting on a lick while the sirens play musical chairs again. Grams in the cereal box, razor blade calendar. I was weighing out my future while my teachers used to failing me. Mama worked 2 shifts till the light stayed amateur, so I practiced on a scale till the numbers acted flattering. First flip was a 20, turned it to a clean deuce. By Friday I was neck deep in a pair of new boots. County checks bouncing, but my trap jumped like crisscross. Kitchen full of white, like the linens at the Ritz bars. Cold stove, hot water pot singing like
The Truth. Tory Low Show Pop Culture Report brought to you by Tory Low and Andrew in studio. Andrew, a lot of controversy around Kanye West. We talked about yesterday where a lot of the brands were pulling out of his concert in the UK, and now we got updated news within 24 hours.
The whole country pulled out, Tory.
What?
The whole country, yes.
Oh, wow.
United Kingdom have withdrawn Kanye's visa request.
What?
Yes. He was denied entry to the country, Tory.
Can they deny you entry to the country just because they feel like it?
Hey, listen.
He's not a criminal. He's not doing anything.
I'll tell you, it's not just because they feel like it. UK Prime Minister's office said, quote, where individuals pose a threat to public safety or seek to spread extremism, the government does not hesitate to act. That includes canceling permission to enter the country for extremist preachers and far-right figures, talking about Mr. Kanye West.
Wait a minute. Well, Kanye West just had 80,000 people show up in London. And he made $33 million, which shows that the people, he's not being canceled by the people. This is the machine now. Kanye West is up against the machine because the people love him.
And the machine loves tea.
And the thing is, the rhetoric that he's spewing is starting to affect those that own these structures. He's starting to affect a larger idea, because I'm going to tell you right now, if 80,000 people just don't show up just because. So they know if he came over to the UK, 80,000 more people would have showed. Like,
At least.
He would have filled up the venue. I'll say that. So I think that this is the powers that be that don't like Kanye West. They don't like his messaging. The big corporation idea. He's being canceled by corporations, not by the people.
So I had a heart-to-heart with one of our teammates yesterday, Tory, and we were talking about the Kanye West situation, and they gave me an insight that I didn't think about. You know, he's apologized. He put out a statement. He's apologized. He's put out multiple statements now apologizing. He apologized at the location in L.A. So part of me thinks to myself, like, hey, maybe this is way over the top, right? Like he said, you know, I'm sorry for my actions. I don't necessarily...
I told you he went and apologized to the rabbi because he said they said he was anti-Semitic or whatever. He went and apologized and made his rounds before he even dropped Bully. I saw that.
Apologized on Instagram as well, yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that's not good enough. So the UK can reject a black person that can say, hey, look, I'm sorry for my ways, you know, and he's trying to move forward with his life, but they're not forgiving him. They don't want to forgive his rhetoric, his past rhetoric. I have a problem with that.
Well, on top of that, Wireless, the concert venue, the festival, they announced today that they are canceling the festival because of Kanye West's rejection of entry into the country.
Yeah, because nobody's going to come.
No.
Nobody's coming to the festival. Kanye West is going to pack that thing out every night.
And it was 3 concerts in one in L.A. There was Travis Scott was there, Lauryn Hill was there, and then there was Kanye West. So you think that, okay, if he did this in UK, he was going to bring other artists
No,
as well.
This was not an issue if Kanye was going to sell it out. This is humbling. This is going to the numbers came out already. $33 million. Gross. The numbers are out there. It's not Kanye West. It's not the people. This is corporate. This is higher than that. This is they don't want this to even happen.
Oh, it's not. At least not in the UK.
Yeah, so like I said, this is not good because now, due to what you say, even if you apologize, it means nothing. So that's dangerous. You know, we forgive a lot of people that have done harm to blacks. They could come around and apologize, and we still haven't got a real solid apology for what happened in slavery. You know, what I'm saying is, did what he say was more harmful than what happened to blacks in America? I don't think so. But what I'm saying is he's just a black man. He's an entertainer. He's exercising his right to free speech. And he even doubled back. A lot of people don't even double back, you know, and say, I'm sorry. He even apologized. The fans want Kanye West. So this shows that the gatekeepers are trying to manage his effect on the world. This is a gatekeeper issue.
Well, the tough part now, too, so they canceled it in the UK. I wonder, though, if there is another country who could potentially have Kanye West. And I think to myself, you know, Ireland's right there. They're not part of the United Kingdom necessarily. They're their own country. France is right there. So I think if Kanye really wanted to do something, he could start calling around. There's other venues. There's not just this one. Now, the Wireless Festival won't happen in the UK, but I have to imagine with the connections he's had to Seoul, South Korea, and then Mexico City, where he's done concerts now in LA, this is not the last time we will hear from Kanye. He now has 3 open tour dates.
He's trying to find out, and I appreciate not really a city girl chiming in on this. She says Kanye can really move without the system as soon as he figures it out. Kanye West is finding ways to get around the system right now.
Well, we said this yesterday, but
because the system is shutting him out. And he's still, I think that his Yeezy brand is like $1 billion at this point. He's back at $1 billion. Like he's back to his billionaire status. He went around the traditional ways. He went through the traditional ways and came back around. So what I'm saying is, can he get around what I guess the gatekeepers of a lot of the stadium ideas, and now he's affecting the country.
Yeah, you got to think too.
He's affecting the UK. Like what black man, what black man have ever rose to the point of a Kanye West to say where the UK has to ban him from actually coming into the UK and doing a concert? I've never, not in my lifetime, seen a black music artist do it in today's times like Kanye West.
I'm trying to find a list of people who are banned from the UK, Tory.
For what? For freedom, for at least in America, what we call freedom of speech. Because he's not, what did he do as far as know him in trafficking? He's not on the Epstein files. I didn't see Kanye West in the Epstein files. He's just speaking his opinion, and now, just for him speaking his opinion, they're banning him from putting on his concerts where 80,000 people is going to show up at any given time.
Most of the artists who are banned from the UK, American artists, are performers of R&B and hip-hop, and most of them are because of criminal convictions in the United States.
Criminal convictions.
So Lil Wayne, Chris Brown.
Okay,
Ja
so
Rule.
but nothing like Kanye West.
Nothing like Kanye.
Where he said something and it affected the world. That's what they say. What comes out of Kanye's mouth is affecting the world. They haven't put this much onus on a black man talking since Martin Luther King. So is he in that status? I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are banned. The only other non-person banned, or the other person banned from the United States, who's not because of criminal convictions, is because of Edward Snowden. Remember the guy who leaked all of the documents?
Oh, wow.
He's banned from the United Kingdom as well for leaking American government documents, and that's by request from the American government. So,
Young Money in the chat says Tyler, the Creator, was banned talking about homosexuals in his lyrics.
He's not banned anymore.
He's not banned anymore. I think it was 5 years. So, but, hey, maybe we missing the bigger point here. Maybe Kanye West have grown to the point where his words are strong enough to affect economies and systems. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Low.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to lead play-by-play broadcaster for the NBA on ESPN Radio, Mark Kestisher. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Coming with straight truth.
We can do anything when it comes to being organized, when it comes to making sure that we're active, when it comes to making sure that we're holding people accountable and making sure that we get something out of the deal. Y'all don't know how to make deals. Y'all mad at Donald J. Trump because he's trying to make deals or trying to say that he's the master of the art of the deal. Well, okay, what deals is you trying to make?
Catch the Tory Low Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
I was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Low, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Low from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Low Show. Thank you for joining me for the second hour of the Tory Low Show. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. We got guests in the building, and we're getting them set up to come in for the interview. And while we're doing that, I want to talk about this story. Port Washington Data Centers referendum targets future developments. I guess we got to talk about these data centers before, I've been trying to keep everybody up to speed on what's going on with these data centers. Once again, these are conversations that we need to have to understand what's happening there. They actually are going to be here, and they're in the process of development. And a lot of people are sounding off about the effects or what's going on with the energy. Are we going to have to pay extra cost in energy? Are we going to have to deal with the side effects of these major data centers coming into our townships? Well, I want to make sure that we follow up on what people are talking about. Once again, we're going to head over to Port Washington. If you're watching as we broadcast live, let's listen.
Data centers sparked these complaints in 2025 at Port Washington Common Council meetings. Vantage is building a $15 billion data center campus, and around it, the city approved what's called TIF, tax incremental financing. What's that? Well, the League of Wisconsin Municipalities says the local government pays for public improvements now using the future taxes collected on the property. Port Washington voters upset with the data center used state law, allowing them to try to change city ordinance.
The feeling is that, especially with the Vantage data center project, that there just wasn't enough public input on it. And we want projects like that, if they happen in the future, to be given a voice by the people.
Well, this Port Washington referendum will not do away with the tax district for the data center. It would require voters approve future tax incremental financing over $10 million.
It'll definitely slow development. Developers will be shy, I think, to put in all the time, effort, and energy required to put together a decent plan for any sort of development.
Wisconsin voters at the state level cannot on their own bring forward referendum to change state laws, something you see in states like California. But according to the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, voters can do it at the city and village level. If voters in Port Washington approve the change, there is already a lawsuit challenging it.
All right. Well, we knew that, once these data centers, these mega data centers, I call them mega because they are going to have the AI situations going on. So like I said, people are paying attention. And I see when I start seeing people asking questions and then you see things big, this lets you know that we're arguing about political ideas, but it take both sides to actually make a lot of this come into play when it comes to big business like these data centers and the laws that they need to operate. They're going to have an advantage because a lot of times, a lot of these elected officials look at these data centers as some campaign. They might get some donations. They might get some perks. They may get to have a feather in their hat to say that they brought employment. They kind of use these things as as talking points to say what they did as far as their tenure as a political, leader. And then a lot of times the people feel different and they come out and they try to, hey, why are y'all doing this? Why y'all doing that? Then they go to the closed meetings on them. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to tell y'all, this is why y'all shouldn't allow certain things to shape don't be botted out. That's all I'm saying. Like, just, kind of move in a way that's beneficial to where you can get an advantage. And this is what voting does. You use your vote as a way to get an advantage to where you feel like, okay, this is okay, whether it's Republican, Democrat, Independent. You got to make sure that your vote counts when you shouldn't be group voting if it's not to your advantage. That's all I'm saying. You should try to use your vote as a weapon to make change. And if that's not happening, you might be a bot. You might, just go along to get along just to do it. And then, that's why you got to switch it up. Well, you may give a few votes over here. You may give a few votes over there. They'll never let them put you in the box because then they don't respect that. They, if they got your vote already in the bag, then they not going to give you nothing because they don't have to talk to you no more because they got you. It's kind of like a relationship. You got to keep doing what you've been doing to keep that person. But if you just going to be with the person regardless, they not going to do nothing special for you all the time. They just going to give you the bottom of the barrel. And you may not get what you need because they know that you're not going nowhere. So, hey, once again, I think I don't think we have a huge AI data center. I think the data centers we have here is just for information. But I think that these couple data centers that have the AI component that they need more resources and more development in these neighborhoods like Port Washington, I think we need to pay attention to what the people are saying. And I never want to be in a situation where I don't listen to the people, where I'm so botted out or divide and conquer that I don't hear what the actual people are saying. I'm going to keep everybody updated on what's going on with these data centers like usual. And I appreciate those that are speaking out on trying to give a full understanding of what's going on with the people and the residents in these areas. I think that we really need to be paying attention to that. We can't ignore us. When we start speaking out about the environment and things that we are concerned about, they need to pay attention. We need to not ignore it, because then you're going to want the people to stand up for what you're saying, and if you're being ignored by the structure, you're going to want people to listen to you, and you thinking that you're saying what's best for the community, but yet you're ignoring people that's saying the same thing just in a different area. And I don't care where these data centers at, I'm going to continue to try to, whoever is speaking out, we need to understand what they're saying. All right, well, look, we're going to run the break. We got our guest in the studio. We finally got our guest today in the studio. When we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Low Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's that time of year again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we'll be cleaning up the city on the walk. You can also safely get rid of hazardous household items thanks to MMST. Drop off your items from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at MLK Elementary School. We're talking things like all antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, and pesticides. Sign up now at ToryLowCleanup.com. The Tory Low Community Cleanup is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Sub, and Waste Management.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 1017 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime. Because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, I'm Eric Zauner, Marine Corps veteran and board member for the Center for Veterans Issues, calling on the community to tee it up for a great cause. On Monday, June 15th, CVI is hosting its 5th annual golf outing at the River Club in Mequon. This year's event is supporting CVI's Permanent Supportive Housing Program, dedicated to assisting chronically homeless or disabled veterans and their families. Grab your clubs and support our veterans today. Register to golf, sponsor, or donate at cvivet.org/events.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Say his name. Tory Low. Yeah. On the block by the courthouse. Phone ring. He already know. Mama crying in the hallway. Who gon' speak? She say Tory Low. North side, south side. Same pain, same tears on a different door. He the one they call when they can't breathe, when they can't take it anymore. Ever get Tory Low? He gon' ride when it's time, let the city know. Hey! From the hood to the front row. If you hurt, say the word, he gon' stand 10 toes. Ever get Tory Low? Step every March he be in that snow. When it rain, when it cold. If you stuck in the dark, he gon' pull you on. Send him out by the lakefront, bullhorn. Voice cut through the breeze. Say a name on repeat. Got the baby marching in the streets. He don't talk like them suits talk. He talk like your cousin on the phone.
1017 The Truth. Tory Low Show. We got guests. Hey, look, we got Lance Pitts in the studio. Salute to Lance Pitts because he does so much for the young people. Thank you for coming in on this Tuesday. He has an event, a senior basketball showcase and financial literacy event that's coming up April 18th, April 17th. And it's associated with BMO Harris.
Yes, it is. First of all, thank you, my man. We go back many, many years.
Right.
And I'm always proud.
With the lupus basketball,
thing, everything.
You did?
Yep. So we always do everything with
facts.
sports and everything. And I try to use sports as a backdrop for everything I do, especially with my nonprofit. But just continue to, I love the way you grow every year, man. You always evolving. So I've always been a fan of your work, and, you know, you always got my support. Anything.
Hey, I appreciate that. You know, the thing with me is that I think that everything should always evolve. And I think that many times we forget that we have to add that extra because we have to be competitive, not only just a lot of people just competitive with the people down the street.
Yes.
We have to be competitive with the surrounding areas and compete as a community to stay in the mix, or we're going to get left behind. So I think that we always have to evolve. Every 6 months, we have to make sure that we check in and see are we flowing with the frequency.
I like that.
And if we're not, then we make the adjustments.
I like that. Hey, that's a great outlook. That's a great outlook. But yeah, we have a great event. For those that don't know, I'm Lance Pitts. I'm the director of the MPBA Community Cares nonprofit. In short, we just use sports as a backdrop for mentorship, education, community engagement. April 17th and 18th, we have this great event that Tory just shared with you guys. It's our senior showcase / financial literacy. How the event came together was I was getting calls, and I was telling Tory this before we started. A lot of my friends would call me with their sons or daughters like, hey, Lance, you got a college that you can refer me to for my son? You know, it would kind of go over your head a little bit. I started hearing the question maybe 2-3 times a week. And then I had a colleague that I work closely with, and he said the same thing about his nephew. So I said, okay, let me connect the dots a little bit. We have a lot of young men and women who've played varsity basketball at prominent high schools, most of them MPS.
Right.
And as they get ready to graduate this upcoming May or June, they don't have any colleges to go play ball at, in a sense. Now, these are kids that I've seen grade point averages 3.2, 3.6.
They just didn't make it to that tier where colleges said, hey, look, because it's so much going on with NIL.
Yes.
And things like that they kind of, it's a lot of great basketball players that don't make it to the next level.
Yes, and compared to when I played many moons ago where, hey, you do well, hey, here's a letter from a school.
Yeah,
school.
That's what they tell you until you get there.
Yeah.
And that may not happen.
May not happen. But a lot of these guys and young women don't have the opportunity. So I decided to call a lot of coaches that I know through my basketball connections and said, hey, I got this great event coming up here in Milwaukee. We're at Mount Mary University, and they all said, sure.
Come scout.
Come scout. We have nothing to do that weekend. A couple of them I'm flying in personally.
That's powerful.
Coming in from Louisiana, Chicago, Detroit, Iowa, things of that nature. So
it was programs like this that how John Morant got found.
Yeah. Similar to like an AU situation. So we got them coming Friday night where they get a chance to speak to the young men and women and let them work out that Friday night. But then also I started getting calls, Tory, from, hey, my son's a freshman, my son's a junior. So I said, okay, let me open up to them because we want to give them the experience early rather than wait till the last minute. And then after that, we have the game Saturday, right after your
the
cleanup.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna come down there and help you first.
Because our cleanup is done at 12 p.m. Yeah.
Yep, and then we start at 12. So I'm gonna come down there and help out, and then I'm gonna jet back to the gym.
That's what's up.
And then I said to myself, what else can we do more than just basketball? How can we educate at the same time? We all know that this generation everything is quick and instant. A la Cash App, things of that nature. So when they go to college, I said, hey, let's try to partner with BMO Harris Bank. I have some good connections down there, especially the one on King Drive. My good friends, they said, hey, let's put together something where we'll give them a checking account. We'll fund it, $25 for every senior that we get registered for the event. And we'll help them with that and be an ongoing financial literacy community we're going to create while they're now all the way to when they graduate college.
And that's financial literacy training.
Absolutely.
Where they can attend or get some kind of focus on finances. And I think that financial literacy is something that we all need.
Absolutely.
Many times when we think we know, we really don't know.
Really don't know.
It's always changing too. The financial landscape is always changing.
Always. So, we don't want these young men to, it's happened to a neighbor of mine. Their son went to college last year, and we all know what you went to college. You got financial aid, you got the grant, the Pell Grant kickback, and they wouldn't fund it because he had Cash App. He had to have a checking account.
Right.
So I was like,
Cash App is like the new checking account.
Yeah, but they wouldn't upload the money to his stuff. So I said, okay, let me.
But they pushing back against Cash App too because I think somebody was like, "Oh, we don't take Cash App. They not taking
take it.
Yeah, they not even accepting it in certain places. Maybe in the hood, maybe at the stores and things like that. But certain institutions are not taking Cash App.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one thing with Cash App, you don't have a customer service number, so you have any issues. There's somebody to go to. Where if you want,
got a chat box.
Chat box, literally. And then literally, if you use like a banking system where they have like Zelle, okay, if you need mom or dad to send you some money immediately, it goes that way. So that way you have a track record.
And they tax you too if you want to see something.
You see some of those Cash App fees before, Tory?
I'm just trying to tell you, but I think that now this generation, because they had to be self-sufficient, because sometimes when you have to depend on adults, a lot of broken families, a lot of people felt like I didn't have to talk to nobody to get this Cash App going. Like when you have to go through a bank structure, usually when you're young, you're adult. The adult in the family takes you and open up the account.
Yep.
So in a lot of broken neighborhoods, you don't have a lot of kids just don't have that system.
Nobody. Yeah, we know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. I have to learn it the hard way. I give you and your listeners a quick story. One of my best friends to this day, Shannon Smith. I've been knowing him for over 26 years. I met him when I was like 20, and we went to his house. He had a duplex, and I'm like, oh, spoiled kid. Yeah, your mom lives downstairs, you live upstairs. He's like, no, I own this house.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, you can't own a house at 20. You can't. Well, fast forward, I bought my first house at 25.
Mm-hmm.
All of my friends are all homeowners. You know what you know. You don't know what you don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, like I'm the first homeowner in my family.
Salute to his family, his parents, or whoever introduced them to the concept.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you got to expose somebody to the concept.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have it because they have never been exposed to how to actually do it.
No one has taught us that, Tory.
Right.
And even with my good friend, Miss Cassandra at BMO Harris, one on King Drive, we got some projects we're going to do that. We want to make sure we have you come in and speak as well, too, from when it goes to home ownership, auto loan, credit cards, just the financial landscape that we need to learn now, because now that we're parents, it's up to us to educate and pass down to our kids,
right?
So on and so forth. Because think about it, our parents did the best they could, So now it's like, okay, now that we know we have the information, we have to be able to share that.
I agree, and it's time to change the next 10 generations.
Yes,
we got to get them into the entrepreneurial financial understanding, because you're falling behind if you don't know. Other cultures are teaching their kids how to run stores and things like that. I go into other financial ideas with other people that don't look like me, and their sons are 10 years old running the store. Like, running the automotive idea. If they have like somewhere where they dealing with cars, the kid is at the register learning how to do business. And many times we come from a space or area where we can't even go to the corner store and see a black owner. You know what I mean?
100% right.
So we have to make sure that we implement or hit the reset button and just teach and not assume that people know.
I like that. I think those are some of the gems that we, like you said, we have to continue to share, not only with our family but also our community as a whole. I'm always for higher education. I'm always for picking up a skill or trade, but I always educate everybody. Say, hey, you got to learn something, right? We have to learn some kind of skill or something if you want to be successful in society moving forward.
And salute to BMO, for actually being involved in this.
Yeah.
And many times when we talk about the young people, we have to equip them for the future. A lot of times they have to find out on their own. I mean, I had to find out on my own. I didn't know until I got there, and then I was around this is why I say I had to get around other people who were doing it to learn. Because where I came from, it wasn't like they didn't know. They wasn't doing it, and this wasn't the environment that I came from. Definitely. But then I got out there, and I had a few friends that their daddy owned a farm. And so when I couldn't come home because I couldn't afford it, I had to stay out there for the holidays. I went over to the farm area in these small towns, and their parents was doing things and teaching me things, how to handle certain situations financially, where I wouldn't have got that from grandma.
We wouldn't have got that at all. It's the irony is a lot of financial literacy in our communities, we kind of learn the hard way.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife this a while ago. My first financial advisor I had out of college, and I'm working, saving money, this, that, third, and you think that, hey, man, $8,000-$9,000 is a lot of money. It'd go very quick. You could blow $9,000 on a couple weekends.
Right.
Never realize it. So it's like, okay. And sometimes us as a community, that's our biggest teacher is, okay, you had it, you lost it. If you ever get it back again, here's what you need to do.
And they make it seem like you get it back and lose it. You will never get it back.
Never get it back. So I'm like, yeah. So I tell everybody.
But that's not true.
Yeah,
it's just wisdom, Yeah. And my first ideal of financial literacy came from my friend. I had a friend in Iowa that I met in college. His name was Luke. And his dad was a stockbroker. And when he got into college, he had a trust fund from all of the investments. So he was basically well off from his dad being a stockbroker. And by the time he drove up in like a Marseille. He had money from his parents understanding how to work the stock market.
Right.
And so His dad became my first person to introduce me to those concepts of buying stock, investing, bonds, IRAs. I didn't know nothing about that from coming up on the block.
Yeah.
So I just kind of changed my life by just knowing that there was a different side of life that I had no clue about, but his dad was willing to teach me if I was willing to show up and learn about it.
Yeah, I mean, think about most of our lessons growing up, coming especially from inner city, is, hey, we know it. If you do, if you don't, you don't. Maybe, hey, hanging with Tory and his family, we can someday, they taught us, can rub off on everybody. Right. But outside of that, that's it. So I think you said something earlier that this next generation and generation moving forward, we have to equip them with the knowledge and the skills that we've learned so we can pass down. So.
Well, look, when we come back, Lance, I want to hear more about the senior basketball showcase and how can the community get involved?
Definitely.
With what you're doing? Because you do so many things. You organize around the youth. Ever since I met you, you've always been organizing around the youth. And I also want to talk about what you feel about the takeovers and what did that mean? Tell your plans in dealing with the youth.
Definitely.
Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. We got Lance Pitts in studio, MPBA Community Director in studio. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
The Tory Low Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
This True Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Brewers set for Game 2 of their series against Boston tonight, coming off a win over the Red Sox 8-6 on Monday. It got a little hot last night. Wilson Contreras had words with starter Brandon Woodruff after being hit by a pitch on the hand. Contreras then slid hard to second base. Manager Pat Murphy earlier today.
What happens on the field takes care of itself. You know, I mean, and I'm not going to comment on Wilson's comments. I've competed against Wilson for a lot of years and respect him as a player and has great talent.
It's a 5:45 first pitch. Coverage starting at 5 o'clock on our sister station, WTMJ. And in men's college hoops.
Hail to the champions! Hail to Michigan for the first time in 37 years.
The final call on CBS. Michigan was able to hold on to beat UConn 69-63. It's the first men's basketball championship for the Big Ten in 26 years. This True Sports Update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel.
This is the Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Heard them bots talking, but they sound real slow. We bout that action. Yeah. Lock in and ready to go. Hey. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Big steel toe soul. Advocate talk that 10 toes froze. March in the rain, whole block on hold. Flags in the air, but the ground stay cold. Chalk on the curb, name on the sign.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Low Show. We got Lance Pitts in the studio, MPBA Community Director, and he deals with a lot of the community ideas around the youth. He has an event coming up, the Senior Basketball Showcase and Financial Literacy event.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about the Senior Basketball Showcase, what we should expect when we get there.
So the first thing that I use the word community, right? And we're all part of the community. I'm part of the basketball community. I grew up playing John Marshall High School, UW Waukesha, where I played ball at, graduate of Concordia. So I know what it is to come back, play ball with everybody, and give back to the next generation. For me, it was as simple as I wanted to connect high school seniors, boys and girls, with college coaches so they have opportunity to play next fall. And these are college coaches, Tory, that...
So this is a scouting event?
Yes. So these ain't just coaches coming in because, hey, I know Lance, I'm hanging out. These are coaches coming in like, Lance, we need boys and girls for next season. Yes. If they're available, we would love to have them play for us next year. So that way, these...
And they flying in.
Flying in.
This ain't just like you just gathering the kids hoping somebody coming.
Yeah.
The scouts are going to be there, you know, looking at the kids, evaluating. A lot of these kids that didn't get looked at may get this second look that they desperately need to continue their careers in basketball.
Absolutely. And the thing about it, they'll be in the gym. And the cool thing about this event is not only the players, but parents get a chance to meet them face-to-face. It's one thing for guys like myself or Tory to say, hey, this coach says this or this, but now you get a chance to meet them face-to-face and learn about not only the program that they run from a basketball standpoint, but also the education component as well, too. One of my good friends, Coach Posey at East West University, downtown Chicago, not even an hour, 20 minutes from us, right there on Michigan Avenue, around the corner from Nike store. They have like loft apartment dorms, beautiful campus, right down the street from us, literally, hour and a half away. And it's a great school where he wants to create a pipeline for players from Milwaukee to come to his school.
Oh, wow.
To the point where
Milwaukee got some athletic talent.
Yeah, we're doing good, doing well. We
got a couple recent entries in the NBA as well.
Yeah. So going back to Coach Posey, his thing was, Lance, I can call UW Parkside, I can call Concordia, and have home games against those guys. So that way your kids can have like a homecoming game a little bit rather than just playing on the road. So that's the cool thing about it, just interacting and just making that conversation between parents, players, and coaches. And these are good friends of mine as well, too.
That's what's up.
There was no cold calling like, hey, I'm Lance Pitts. These are Coach Dalio at Highland University. That's in Chicago as well, too. My good friend, Coach Longhorn, he's in Iowa Central coming in. Coach Kev from Southern University.
That's what's up.
You know, so these guys that I'm flying in and driving in just to help out with these.
And let me tell you this. When you talk about giving these kids that opportunity, that's powerful. That is powerful. Because I remember when I had to go off into college and Iowa, this college in Iowa was like, "Hey, Tory, we want to come and look at you." And I didn't even know how to catch the Greyhound.
None of that.
I just had to figure it all out, and I had to talk to one of my counselors. My grandma, I was living with grandma. Grandma ain't never really don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're there and you're trying to guide them to the next level of life, and as a mentor, and as a person that they can kind of get an understanding of what's going on, that is powerful.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do is, and one thing for the listeners too, I'm big on affordability. You've seen events like this throughout the country from $200, $300. We only charge you $50 for seniors. Freshmen to juniors, they're only paying $35. And with the seniors, remember, they get a checking account through BMO Harris that's already funded, ready to go. So that's us giving back to saying, hey, we want to help with this journey from now until you guys graduate from college.
Now, how do people sign their kids up? Or do they have to have a certain basketball history, or is it just any senior?
You know what? It's going to be any senior now. First, we want to keep it only for high school basketball players, which we have a good pool from. But I've also had other kids hit me up that, hey, I love to play sports. I didn't have the opportunity. Get signed.
So you just anybody that can ball, if
you can play ball.
Who makes it onto the court for the scouts? I mean,
that's what Friday night is.
That's what I'm saying.
So Friday night
you got
will
all
be
these
important.
kids coming, and so how does this work?
Yep. So Friday night we'll be at Mount Mary where the event will take place. Friday night and Saturday afternoon, from 5 to 9, we'll be in the gym. We'll have the coaches introduction. Not only mention they'll get a chance to talk about their schools and universities, but also players and parents can introduce themselves as well, too. After the introductions, now we're on the court, Tory. Now we get a chance to see who can do what.
Okay.
And then for the game Saturday, we'll place everybody we need to be. Also, we have uniforms for the games, too. So parents, your son or daughter will have a uniform. So,
how can they tap in? What is the information they need to tap in? Where can they go? What website they can go to? What phone number?
Yep. So you can feel free to call or text me directly at 414-807-2740, 414-807-2740. You can follow MPBA Community Cares on Facebook. The flyer is going everywhere. Feel free to inbox me. We have a registration QR code. But the flyer's all over Facebook. I'll share it with you. Text me, direct me. I'll send it to you directly.
Now, there's a recent incident with takeovers that everybody been talking about, but you deal with the youth. How does that make you feel when you see something like this going on with the youth right here in the city of Milwaukee?
You know, when I first saw it, the first thing we tend to do is, we tend to take blame. Who's responsible for what, right? I think these are what we call teachable moments as well, too, at the same time. Do a lot of our youth, especially in the city of Milwaukee, I think we struggle with identity in a sense, especially a lot of our youth. Not knowing that some of the activities they may partake in are borderline, if not full-blown criminal activities, right? And the worst thing to find out is when you have cuffs around your wrist that, I didn't know it was that serious, right? Or someone gets hurt. I think it starts with parenting, obviously, first. We have to tell our youth, especially our sons, daughters, just nephews, that, hey, you're loved, you come from a family, this last name means something. They have to have a sense of purpose. I will say this, Tory, every generation is responsible for something positive they contributed and something negative they contributed. And I think we need to have those honest conversations as well, too, rather than just, being the old man on the porch.
Right.
You have to be able to use that time to teach, like, hey, we did this. Our listeners, your listeners, we remember Capitol Court. Remember the Capitol Court riot. You remember that, Tory? You remember
remember the Sherman Park cruising.
You remember
they was cruising on Sherman Park, and a lot of the youth was getting in trouble for that.
We remember those days vividly, right? So I don't want us to be the guys to say, oh, this is just out of control, right? Every generation we have to say, hey, if we don't take
lock
care of
them up and throw away the kid.
Yeah, we can't do that. It's not even fair. The narrative that was going on, and you remember this story, was, well, it's nothing for these kids to do. I mean, that's a false narrative. There's a lot of things for the kids to do. It may not be what they particularly want to do, right? Look at the skating situation. Remember Skating University?
Right.
That's closed now. Butler has it where
they actually terrorize some of the kids. Where some of the kids are complaining that, they not wanted there, or something, incidents have taken place to show a little make you raise an eyebrow on what took place.
Yep. So to the point where, hey, they want one adult per kid or two kids, right? So these are conversations we have, like, hey, if we can't control how we interact, then there's going to be limited things that you guys can do. Think about the mall. You used to be able to walk through the mall with no problems. Now you have to have, it's a curfew at the mall. Movie theaters, so we have to share it. We're like, hey, if we don't control how we interact or our behavior, it's going to be limited things.
Are there enough programs for the kids? Like, the kids are saying that there's nothing to do. But if you listen to the grown-ups, we got programs.
Yes, there's
what is the disconnect?
The disconnect, Tory, is how I want to be entertained. That's the disconnect. Outside of sports, entertainment, music, things of that nature, there's always tons of Boys and Girls Club, YMCAs, Running Rebels.
I had that when I was a kid, though.
Yeah, we had that, right?
But are we upgrading the ideas to fit the needs of the youth today? Are we keeping current?
No. Think about it from a parent standpoint. I have a 16-year-old at Mesmer. Shout out to my son, Sky. He's in activities. He runs track. The young man, the young woman that doesn't do sports, well, we have to tap in and find out what's their niche or their interest in. We have
social media.
Okay. Yeah.
Facebook, cool. TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah. Well, then maybe we need to say, hey, let's create
Snapchat.
Let's create a podcast studio and teach them how to do this stuff then. Because if they want to be entertained that way, then,
or show them how to build those technologies as well.
There you go. Anything that can monetize and they can make money, they're all in. Okay. They're all in. They're all in. So, but like you said, 100, 200 kids arguing, fighting, it's just a matter of time for something happens. And that's the safety part that we try to steer them away from. Like, hey, 200 kids at one spot at one time is probably never a good idea. So.
Well, I'm going to give you your last words. What do you want the community to know about what you're doing, how they can help you, Lance? And many times when we talk about people that are out here organizing with the youth, a lot of those flyers don't go viral.
Right.
Like the Takeover flyer.
Yeah. And we just talked about that off the air a little bit, where it's like, hey, that thing got to circulate. I'm like, oh, this is where it came from. I think I always work from a solution base. This summer, I was telling Tory, for his listeners, that we will put together, probably late June, we're going to do a Safe Summer charity basketball game. We need Tory to lace them up. You got to put your shoes on.
Here we go.
You got to put your shoes on.
How come I can't coach? I've been the coach for the last 5-6 years now.
Well, you know what? You got a jump shot or two in you. I know you do, man. Even if you got to play the fourth quarter.
I got a layup. I got a few layups. I got a jump shot, a layup.
Yeah. So I want to get together with a lot of community partners, organizations. I've talked to some of the MPD, fire department, paramedics about putting together this Safe Summer game we're going to do. But then also, I'm putting together some kind of summer program. I'm still putting the kinks together, what I want to do. It will be something with podcasting, just to keep everybody busy. That way they can tap into their social media and keep them busy that way. So got a couple projects I'm working on that I'll be coming back, share with your listeners. And also, just want to give you flowers tomorrow. I share with your listeners. You got an award that my organization gave you for your community spotlight for the work you've been doing. And I want to bring it today, but
y'all gonna come back through tomorrow on the show?
I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That way I can.
Here we go.
I got my phone, so I'll make sure that I'll record everything. So.
Wow.
For the work that you guys do, man, and it's amazing, man. So.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Definitely need it.
I think that many times when we out here selfless, we deal with what they call the the financial issue on the back end, because sometimes I ain't never got no support. So what I'm saying is sometimes I don't think about the cost. I just try to get the event or the idea implemented.
Yeah.
And then I'll just have to pay for it on the back end, maybe move some things around so I can make it happen. But I think that many times when we talk about the front lines, we learn how to manage in the moment.
Yeah.
And without a lot of the fanfare or the support that we should be getting, but many times we find a way to make it happen, and we organize with the best intentions of getting the positive outcomes.
Definitely.
And that's why I appreciate you, Brother Lance, because that's what I know about knowing you. You've always been like that, trying to find different ways to help with the youth, through athletics, which is something that affected your life.
Yeah, definitely. I made so many relationships through basketball, and a lot of lessons that. I'm
gonna need you to join the celebrity basketball team.
I'm gonna play next year.
Hey,
I'm playing next year.
We got to put him down on the because we can't lose another game.
I'm playing next year. I promise you, I'm playing next year.
Sometimes
we need help.
Wait a minute. To the brothers on the front lines ain't got time to be out there playing basketball. So I kept it honest. I got the brothers that do the work, but that didn't translate to the hoop.
Well, we got to use you as a secret weapon. So that last 2 minutes of fourth quarter, Tory goes to the back, get dressed. He come out. Because guess what? Nobody planned for you. You're not in the game plan. You're not in the scouting report. And
the X factor.
That's it. 2 threes in the corner. That's game right there. You didn't plan for it. That's it.
That's what happened with Kenneth Locke, pastor of the Evolve Church. They stuck him in the fourth quarter. He hit 2 big 3-pointers.
See, that's what
changed the game.
That's what I played against Pastor Locke in college. It's funny. We talk about.
Oh wow! So he actually in college.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
That's what's up. I didn't know that. He didn't say that when he was on the show. He didn't tell me that he was a basketball player.
Yeah, for y'all to know, Pastor talked a lot of trash back then too. So it's kind of you got to look at him sideways. Like, remember what you said to me on the court that day? Like,
oh wow! Well, now now he's the chaplain for the Milwaukee Bucks and things like that.
Yeah, he's good people.
He was just in the studio, but I didn't know he played basketball. Next time I see him, I'm gonna say,
Yep.
I thought Jesus was with that jump shot.
Yeah.
But really, he actually played the game.
He can play, man.
Oh, okay.
He can play. Very strong.
I thought the grace of God guided that 3-point shot in.
Yeah. Very strong guard. He was kind of tough to guard back then. And he had some muscles on him too. He still got a frame on him. But yeah, he was good.
Now I got some ammunition. Thanks, Lance.
Good. I appreciate
for filling me in. Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
But
man.
Look, salute to you, everything that you're doing, and anything I can do to help, just let me know. You already know.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, for all your listeners, like I said, if Tory can continue to help share the flyer, my biggest thing I'm doing now between next week is just make sure that everybody's aware.
Right.
I bring it awareness.
Give the information again for those that want to participate.
So you can follow my page, Lance Pitts, or MPBA Community Cares page. All the flyers are on there. I got videos and stuff that we made. If you need to reach me for your son or daughter to register, no matter if they're a freshman or senior, 414-807-2740. Or contact Tory. He can reach me as well.
All right.
So thank you.
When we come back, thank you, Lance, for coming on. When we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Low.
You are listening to The Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
I won tickets last week on your show to see The Wiz. I just wanted to call and say thank you and say I appreciate you. I appreciate the show. I appreciate the station. That was a core memory that was made last night. The Wiz was an amazing performance.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 1017 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime, because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org.
My name is Adrienne, and I was hurt in a car accident. What Gruber Law Office has done for me was made me feel safe. It didn't cost me anything, just one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
27 standing for the home team, neighborhood hero, post-traumatic soul scream, advocate, wanna know who had to give, whose idea was it to blast the trick, once they get back in the way, it's over, ghetto, John Brown, 27 standing for the home team, neighborhood hero, post-traumatic soul scream, advocate, wanna know who had to give, whose idea was it to blast the trick, once they get back in the way, it's over. Tory Low. Tell him, bro. Gotta tell him, bro. Tory Low. Gotta tell him, bro. Ghetto John Brown, 27, standing for the home team. Neighborhood hero, post-traumatic soul scream. Advocate, wanna know where to give. Whose idea was it to blast a trick? Once they get back in the way, it's over. Ghetto John Brown, 27, standing for the home team. Neighborhood hero, post-traumatic soul scream. Advocate,
101.7 The Truth, Tory Low Show. Salute to Lance Pitts for coming through. A lot of things that we need for the youth. A lot of people working hard to make sure that they are doing their little, so nobody got to do a lot. And once again, we got programs out here. We just got to put out the information so people can work those programs. And many times, the flyer that came out, I say it went viral. So we have to understand what are the youth paying attention to, and try to get in that frequency to get their attention. Many times, we have programs, we have ideas, but then I always say we fall short on the marketing to get it in the right space for it to attract the kids that really need to have a lot of these resources. So salute to Lance Pitts for a lot of the things that he's always been doing. Ever since I met him, he's been great at working with the youth in athleticism and things like that. And he actually did something with lupus. Salute to everybody that's doing the lupus walks and raising money for lupus. I was a big part of dealing with the lupus situation for years, and I think I'm working on doing a lupus walk this year. I just had a group reach out to me to say, hey, Tory, do you want to get involved in the lupus walk? I think that we don't talk about lupus enough in our communities. I think that we need to really start focusing in on a lot of the ideas that are affecting our community and doing what we can. But I think lupus is something that's near and dear to me because my wife, Kamisha Finner, who died from lupus at a young age, I didn't even know nothing about it. I didn't know nothing about lupus, and I had a hard lesson in what it was. And so over the years, I've been dealing with the lupus situation, the lupus community, and I am working on trying to do the lupus walk this year. So I was just sent a bunch of information. I'll be walking with a group for the lupus walk this year. So like I said, Lance was definitely organizing around lupus. He had the basketball game for lupus, and that's how we connected. And ever since then, he's just been an amazing person working in the community. So like I said, this is what we want to do. We want to highlight those brothers and sisters on the front lines. We want to make sure we bring them to the forefront. Many times the brothers and sisters that's doing the work, they quiet. They're doing the work, and many times they're not out there in the forefront yelling and screaming and, hey, look at me. But I think in 2026, we got to get in the front. Everybody on the front lines, we got to get in the front. We got to start being visible so the young people can see what's being done and that we can take control over what's going on out here. And I know we don't like to, sometimes our work, we know we want to be humble and things like that, but it's not helping. The competition is stiff. And anytime you can see a flyer can get 200 children to gather, that means we need to regroup, rethink, and reshape what we're doing, because I didn't see nobody handing out no flyers for the takeover. I just seen a social media post, and that kind of attracted our youth. So I'll say this. I don't care who's behind that flyer. They showed me one thing, that we have to kind of make sure that we're connected to the frequency of the youth today. And once we get on that frequency, we can do what that flyer did. Now, a lot of people start trying to say we need more police, lock them up and throw away the key, and all of these kind of ideas that are just normal mainstream ideas that they want you to have. Or we can say, okay, how do we tap in and hit that same pocket of kids and steer them in the right direction, or give them the resources? And this is what we have to do. Even the parents of these young people, I'm asking you to get involved. If you know your child was out there and following these trends, it's up to you to say, okay, we're going to go where the front lines are. You got to expose them too. You got to do a job too. You got to do your part too. You can't just be looking for people that don't even know your child to connect with your child. You got to see something good and say, okay, I'm going to expose them to that. I'm going to bring them. I know they was at Bayshore. Let me bring them over here so they can get tuned in, and so you can get tuned in. It's a community effort, and no one person is going to resolve it. This didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be resolved overnight. This is going to take a village effort, and it's time to repair the village. 2026. I said that before all of this started happening, we got to work to repair the village, and that's what we own. If you ain't on that, I don't know what to say. If you divisive, you about divide and conquer, you about destroying, I don't want that in my life. I don't want you around me. I don't want to talk to you. I just want to get with the people that's willing to make the sacrifices to make the necessary changes. That's it. I'm going to keep it simple. Hey, look, when we come back, we got to get to some stories that's been going on around the city. We're going to talk about it. Also, it's election day right here in the city. The spring elections is up on us. And if you want to join the conversation, 833-212-1017. When we come back, we'll have more conversation. Stay locked in.
At Junior Achievement, students learn how innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship can turn a simple idea into something that changes an industry. With support from Cost Corporation, students are discovering how engineering, product design, and smart marketing bring great ideas to life. From pioneering studio headphones to building a brand recognized around the world, Cost shows students how technology and creativity shape the way we experience music. Learn more at ja.org.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Low, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Low from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
1017 The Truth. Tory Low. Tory Low Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 1017 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Low Show. And I guess I've been getting tagged in a lot of conversations about Offset being shot. A lot of people saying Offset got shot at a casino. And it's regular news. I guess this is not a pop culture story where, you know, you're talking about Cardi B, Offset, and Stephon Diggs. This is actually Offset actually being shot and somebody tried to take his life. Well, we got a story on this, a local news story on this. If you're watching as we broadcast live, let's listen.
In relation to this case, we're finally hearing from Seminole Police on what transpired outside of the casino, and we have a statement from that rapper's attorney. So let's get into all of those details. We know Seminole Police say rapper Little TJ has been arrested and booked at the Broward County Jail in relation to this incident where fellow rapper Offset was shot outside the Seminole Hard Rock Casino. And we have a statement from a law firm based out of New York released saying and disputing claims about TJ's involvement in this. Attorney Don Florio saying Little TJ has not been charged with the shooting, nor has he been shot. Now, it's very carefully crafted there for Little TJ's, whose real name is Tion Jaden Merritt. We know from Seminole Police he has been charged, though, with disorderly conduct and a traffic violation. Seminole police say little TJ was involved in a fight prior to Offset getting shot. A second person has been detained but not charged, and police are looking to identify one more person in this. Now, whatever transpired outside of the Hard Rock Casino happened yesterday around 7 p.m. A spokesperson for Offset saying that he has been hospitalized, but no specifics on how he's doing. We actually know from Seminole Police, in that statement just released, that he has non-life-threatening injuries. Seminole Police would really only say this happened outside in the Valley area. Now, just a little bit of background on Offset. His real name, Kiari Kendrell Cephas, was part of the hip-hop trio Migos before his solo career. You may know he was also married to fellow rapper Cardi B before they divorced back in 2024. The pair do share 3 children together. Offset's cousin as well, Takeover, was also part of the Migos group. He was shot.
All right. Well, who is Lil Tay? I never heard of this guy.
Lil TJ.
Lil TJ. I don't know who this is. But obviously he's in the conversation of he wasn't arrested for shooting Offset. They just saying that they got him on a traffic violation and something else. But once again, one of y'all, favorite celebrities that used to, be out here with the Amigos, but it seems like he was shot. We don't know all the details. It don't even sound like they even know all the details yet to it. But casinos got cameras. So this is just a general news report without much detail. Only thing I know is this Lil Dante, Lil TJ, I've never heard of no rapper or nobody like that. Don't mean he ain't out here popping or doing nothing. He may be out here, in certain areas. But what I'm saying is we gonna keep an eye on this. But they're saying the Offset is okay. He's okay. But once again, somebody was saying that he was out at the casino largely by himself. And I'll say this, a lot of times celebrities don't want to be everywhere you got to go. You got to pay thousands of dollars to have somebody watch your back. But this is what I'll say. You got to be careful about the rap lyrics that come out of your mouth. And when you braggadocious or you talking about what you going to do to folks and things like that, somebody going to try you. And I don't know if this is the situation or if this is the case, but when you get out there and you start rapping a certain gang-type lifestyle or braggadocious, big boss-type lifestyle, and then all of a sudden you out there walking around by yourself without, they call that catching people slipping. So I don't know if that's the case or not. A lot of these older rappers are, Gucci just got robbed now. Offset just got, shot at the casino. A lot of these young cats, they trying to take their spot in that realm, in that area. But do we have any more information on this, Andrew?
So the reports are coming in, Tory. It looks like little TJ attacked Offset, shot him outside the casino over $900,000 borrowed in gambling.
What? So what you mean? Like that Offset borrowed $900,000 from him?
Yeah.
Little TJ got that kind of money? Wow.
Yeah, looks that way. Also, little TJ was released on bond today. First thing he says, Offset is a rat for ratting me out.
Oh, wow. I don't think that matters anymore. I think he's waking up to find out that he probably was living in a delusional space called, studio gangsters. It's not real. Like when the police get involved, that's when you find out a lot of that lifestyle is not real. Long as there ain't no police involved, long as there ain't no federal investigation, long as there ain't nobody threatening you with 10 years, it's all good. It's all delusional to be in that space. But when it get real and you find out, hey, these people was just faking because they never had the heat of the federal government or law enforcement breathing down their neck, when it get real, a lot of people flip. So here we go. Somebody, not really, City Girl says $900,000. Like, how did he borrow the money from?
That's what the reports are saying.
What? Wow.
Can I hold something?
Okay, that's a whole bankroll. That's more than a bankroll. That's a retirement. That's somebody's retirement fund. I hope he didn't waste that man $900,000 at the casino. That's terrible. 833-212-1017 if you want to join the conversation today. We got Gary on the lines. How you doing, brother Gary?
Hey, good brother Tory. Hey, you know what? I just called, man. I want to give you your flowers today, brother.
Blessings, brother.
You know, I listen to your show. When I get the opportunity. And sometimes I don't agree with anything that you say, and there are other times when I agree with everything that you say, right?
Right.
Yeah, right, because that's who we are as individuals. But today was one of those days, man, where I agree with everything you said with your host that you had come on.
Yep.
I mean, with the guests that you had come on.
Lance Pitts.
And you know what, man? So sometimes people need to know your backstory. I didn't know your backstory till you shared it today. You know what I'm saying? So much love to you, man. Sometimes we need to make ourselves vulnerable, and you did that today.
Well,
you know,
thank you. I appreciate that.
People will view us as being one-dimensional when we're actually three-dimensional beings. So just wanted to call, man, and give you your flowers today, man, and give you a big up.
Thank you, brother Gary. I appreciate that. You know, and I don't think we're here to agree or disagree. I think we're here to be about that action. And actions speak louder than words. We here to conversate, have an open conversation. But like I said, my real life is in writing. And so I'm not trying to, get out here and, we doing this, we doing that. No, we do it because this is a purpose. So, and when we having these open conversations, all sides is welcome. And that don't mean we have to agree on what we're talking about, but we do have to agree that we have to work to the best benefit of our community. So at the end of the day, that's what I do. Like I said, I could never shape my opinion on somebody's what they're saying. I only can shape my opinion about what they're doing. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's some lifestyles that I have to work with all the time that I don't even agree with nothing they talking about. But that don't stop us from getting stuff done. Because that person is a good worker and they going to get things done and we can work together and have real tangible outcomes. That's why I don't make a judgment off of nothing what people say. I only make a judgment off of what people actually do. So, like I said, I appreciate you for tapping in, Gary. And like I said, I understand. I totally understand it. And I'll say this, if you get out on these front lines, you'll experience even more, of what the work that goes on out here up and down the state of Wisconsin every day. Brother Blake, how you doing, Brother Blake?
What up, Tory Low?
Blessings, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. All them songs you got playing, man, you might need a mixtape, G.
You so crazy.
You got some nice cuts on there. You got what on there, dude? Sound like Trench. You got dudes sound like John Legend, Anthony Hamilton. You got some nice cuts on there. You got the people in my band going, oh my God, that band plays good music every day. I wish I could meet them. I got a couple of blind people in my band. They want to meet you. But,
you so crazy.
But thank you.
That's what's up.
I got the word from Vegas last night and Atlanta. My brother's an avid gambler, and Offset. Oh, little dude, almost a meal ticket.
Oh,
so
wow.
Before he got over like 400, yeah. So it was like 900,000. But he owed like 4 or 5 other people like 5, 10,000, 10 here, 10 here.
Why are you going in debt like that?
When you gambling, you paying 4, 5, 6. Going to the casinos like that. The casinos was made to rape you.
Right.
And Offset's stupid because he think all of them.
Your phone messing up. Get your phone straight. Your phone messing up.
I'm sorry. Let me pull over. Yeah, all the houses and the gambling they was doing before they got that money, it's different spots. When you go to a casino, you're not gonna win. Mm-hmm. So he's at the big casinos betting big still. But when you got crowd in the hood, man, you got about 3, 4 cash you can run to. Let me get 5 sacks. Or let me get a 10 piece and I got you. And you when you got loyalty in the hood, it's okay. Because they be like, he's doing this thing. All he got to do is get a hit or whatever. When his residuals drop,
he good
gonna
for
get me
it.
back. So this had been going on for about 2-3 months. So he been leaking and he been losing, and he didn't get nothing back. The album ain't selling, and the residuals he got ain't kicking in because he paying child support. That's why he's trying to hit Cardi Pocket so hard. But he in debt with the brothers in the hood, and everybody calling him a square because he done lost his magic on the table. So he in the hole. And once again, that's what happened to his cousin. Them dirty dice games, man. But now he in there, he in the big boys ain't playing. They gonna strip him naked and leave him out like they did. And then he's with dude, and then he borrowed another $5,000. He's like, look, you don't give me my money, I'm gonna pop you. Dude borrowed like $50,000, then another $5,000, and he didn't give it back, so he popped him.
Wow.
And that's what happened. And that's why all the cameras was them sitting right there in that little thing, because it happened that fast. Dude, when the street dude tell you he want his money, he want his money. I want it Friday at 3 o'clock. I want my money Friday at 2:30. And he didn't give it to him, so he popped him.
Wow.
That's what it's real. That's, man, you know it's real out here in the battlefield.
Hey,
Tory.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
man.
I didn't know he had a gambling problem like that where he was in the hole like that. I mean, you would think that he got million, all that music he made, all that, you know,
everything we see ain't good.
That's what I've been saying though. But like I said, he was using the illusion. He was using his illusion to get people basically scamming. If that's the case,
right? They spend their money on them chains, them houses, and then them taxes catch up with them. And if you don't have an advisor and you're so stupid, you ain't been watching nobody else fall by the wayside, you'll get what he getting. He getting a taste of his own medicine.
All right, well, thanks for that. Thanks for filling us in on that.
If I don't know, I can't tell. If I don't know, I can't tell it. But if I know, I'm gonna give it up because they come say something to me and I already know about it. It ain't like it's a lie. It got to me.
The streets know
you know it's on the wire. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It got to me. It's on the wire. Just like when it happened to Twine. I knew what happened to Twine that night. Because my man from Atlanta called me. The club wasn't even closed yet. I knew what happened that night. That's why I'm so pissed about ain't nobody got nobody yet. So it got to be a whole bunch of people going down behind it with that. Because they ain't got nobody yet. But, man, they coming and everybody going to reap what you sow. I'm telling you, y'all better get right. Love you, man.
Right. Thanks for tapping in. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Low.
You are listening to The Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner serving Greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
As the White House threatens to take over state elections, restrict abortion nationwide, and take away our health care, the Wisconsin Supreme Court is the last line of defense for our rights. That's why the Supreme Court election on April 7th is so critical. The ACLU does not endorse or oppose candidates, but wants you to make an informed decision. When it comes to abortion rights, Maria Lazar supported overturning Roe v. Wade and is endorsed by groups that want to ban abortion. Chris Taylor voted against abortion bans and defended abortion rights while working with Planned Parenthood. And on the issue of voting rights in Wisconsin, Maria Lazar defended efforts to rig elections for one political party through extreme gerrymandering of congressional and legislative districts. Chris Taylor opposes rigging the system with extreme partisan gerrymandering. On April 7th, stand up for our rights. Paid for by American Civil Liberties Union, Incorporated.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Hawes of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 101.7 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime. Because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org. This is the Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
They getting tired of you, Tory. Every time you look up, they kicking another door. See, I told you the days of being silent are over. This is the time for your cup to run over. If you don't stand for something, you gon' fall for anything. You hear me? Let me tell you something. If you need me, you know how to find me. But keep doing what you doing. I'm proud of you. Yeah, yeah. He who finds himself losing himself for my sake will find it. Yeah, yeah. And he who loses his life for my sake will find it. I've been praying for peace. I've been praying for peace. Tired of fighting these beats, but they need me in these streets. Yeah. Hey, yo, they killed my dog in front of his mama.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Low Show. I want to talk about this because we've been talking about food deserts and closing down on the north side. I guess this is kind of an update. Milwaukee addresses grocers, pharmacies leaving the city with new legislation. I guess they got new legislation about what's going on with these food deserts, these stores leaving the city. A lot of them just shutting down and just taking off. And now we've been having these conversations for the last several months. Now I guess we got new legislation in the city to address it. If you're watching as we broadcast live, we got some audio, some video on this. Let's listen.
Recent closures had a city committee calling it a public health crisis, while also looking to require grocers and pharmacies to give the city notice if they intend to close their doors. Multiple grocery stores as well as pharmacies in the city have closed in the past year, including in low-income neighborhoods. One thing that the committee advanced out was a resolution declaring what they're calling food apartheid, a deliberate and racialized system denying people of color access to fresh foods. Well, the committee says, yes, that's a public health emergency. And as a part of that, the committee also advanced a change to city ordinance requiring grocers or pharmacies to give a 60-day written notice of intent to close, detailing the date of closure, reason for closure, and plans for employees. Now that is intended to give the city about a month of time to try and find a way to keep the business open while also letting residents know about the upcoming closure ahead of time. Just part of a series of efforts the Common Council and administration are working on to address the issue while getting input from community members.
Y'all gotta talk to community, not just talk to them. They gotta be in the room. We can't just create a solution without talking to community. That's just like a store saying, I'm gonna build a store right here and ain't nowhere to park right there.
All right, here we go. Okay, so I guess they moving it into legislation. They got 60 days. I need a 60-day notice before y'all decide to shut down. I guess they need a warning. You know, I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to the people y'all voted for to handle this. We've been talking about it for a long time. Hey, this I don't know. I wasn't there when they put the legislation together, but, you know, I don't know what the community input was on this, but I guess 60 days is enough time. Barbara in the chat says, I need 60-day notice before y'all shoplift. To the customers, I guess. You know what? What's interesting, a lot of people talking about theft, but I just read a statistic on the stores closing down, and a lot of it wasn't because of theft. This was in the Journal a couple, maybe not even a week ago. Like, they started seeing that a lot of this wasn't because of theft. So I think that's a myth, Barber. I mean, I know it happens. It sounds good. But I'm seeing that according to the statistics, that may not have been the case with these stores closing. So I think y'all may need to look at that journal article. I wish I had it in front of me, but I didn't have it up. But when you said that about shoplifting, that wasn't even the root base of why these stores was closing, according to something I saw in the Milwaukee Journal. Now I got to get the journal article up again about what they were saying about a lot of the store closings and things like that. But I said that a lot of people was trying to kind of throwing it off on that, but and a lot of people thought that was the case. But I'm talking about what they wrote in the journal, and I saw that article. Did you see the article, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely stated that a lot of the statistics, but it wasn't largely due to theft. So, is that what it's saying, or did I get the right understanding of the article, Andrew? Are you looking at the article right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, Tory. I'm trying to find out why. A lot of it, the reason that they claim is a lot of these stores were too close to each other was the original explanation, but theft is not one of the reasons given why they were shutting down.
Right. And I know I saw this, and I'm like, okay, a lot of people been saying that, and it makes sense. Hey, look, y'all stealing, I can't operate because I'm losing profits. But it just seems like from what I saw, is that the journal, right? That wrote about it. Yeah. That may not have been the case, according to what the journal is putting out here. Stores operate on a very small margin of profit. Theft happens. It happens a lot. But the impact of Amazon delivery services that take away impulse buying is more of a factor of stores closing. This is LaRon in the chat. That's why I said, like, a lot of people would just default to, hey, it's a no-brainer. People were stealing all the profits and they couldn't make a profit. So, yeah, people will run with that. But really, when you break it down, at least in these situations that we're looking at here in Milwaukee, theft may not have been the case. So now I'm going to have to go and get the article, and Andrew got the article. Maybe I'm going to have to go, and tomorrow I may have to open up and kind of go through it. I don't have it in front of me, and I should have. I didn't even know if I was going to go this direction, but I did see that article, and I did read it. Do we got a news article on this, or what do we have? Okay, we don't have no video on it. All right, but before we get out of here and run the break, I want to go to Waukesha County Sheriff Office pushes for body cameras following a fatal deputy-involved shooting. There was a deputy-involved shooting in Waukesha County, and they are pushing to see the body cameras. Say no more, release the video. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. Let's listen.
County Sheriff's Office says it is now working with the county executive to put body-worn cameras on its patrol deputies. It comes less than 2 weeks after the county executive revealed the sheriff had never made it a priority.
Paul, has the sheriff ever asked the county to fund body-worn or dash cameras?
No. I mean, I've been in this position for over a decade now. I've run 11 budgets, and the sheriff has never come forward with body cams as a priority.
County Executive Paul Farrow shared on a county government podcast in late March what hadn't been shared publicly for more than a decade. The sheriff never requested funding for body cams. The county executive's comments came less than a week after deputies shot and killed a man who got out of his vehicle with a gun following a chase, according to investigators. Body camera video would have showed the public what the deputies saw in the moment they decided to pull the trigger. Sheriff Eric Severson's time in office is coming to an end in 8 months following his decision not to run for re-election. One day after the deputy-involved shooting, all 3 sheriff candidates told me it's past time for Waukesha County deputies to wear body cams.
This should have been solved 10 years ago.
You need to make it a priority.
Come day one, we're gonna right the ship on that.
State Department of Justice records, along with previous TMJ4 reporting, show the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office is the only remaining law enforcement agency in southeastern Wisconsin without body or dash cameras.
Would you like to get body cameras for future?
I would like to get a lot of resources to do a lot of things. It's a financial issue.
The sheriff had long called it a funding issue. I obtained a copy of a study done by the sheriff's office in 2023 that explained the estimated costs, $1.7 million over a 5-year contract with its preferred body camera company. That would cover 150 body cams and video storage. That wouldn't include new staff positions to fulfill open records requests for footage.
Here we go. Now, they gonna work it out. They ain't worried. They can work this out because I believe they do need body camera footage. I think every law enforcement agency should have body camera footage because we got to make sure we get it right. We got to make sure we get it right. And only time sometimes you ain't gonna get it right if one side can control a narrative, and we don't have that. That's why we wanted. That's why we pushed to get the body camera footage. And many times we don't want to do this, but like I said, when you have an incident where a deputy-involved shooting happens and nobody knows, there's the deputy story against the person that got shot. And so, like I said, and they're the only law enforcement agency right now that don't have body cameras, according to this article. So what is the problem? Figure it out. Let's get some body cameras on these deputies moving forward. And, we don't have these conversations. And these are the same conversations we had when Milwaukee Police Department didn't even have the body cameras. So now we got body camera and we still haven't, that's not the fix it. That's not the be all end all. We still got things to do, but at least we have some idea on what took place. All right. Well, I think that every law enforcement agency in the state of Wisconsin need body camera. I don't know why they went this long without making the adjustment. And you can't tell me it's financial. Everybody have made the adjustments. We got bad budgets in Milwaukee and we got cameras. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Low.
More of the Tory Low Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Need a quick, delicious way to fuel your day? Try one of our new protein power plays from Cousin Subs. Power ham, power turkey, power club, power tuna. 4 craveable 5-inch subs on freshly baked Italian bread. Packed with protein, up to 33 grams. All for just $7.99 for a limited time. It's the flavor you love with the fuel you need. Grab a protein power play in store, online, or on the Cousin Subs app today. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Hi, I'm Greg Fritsch, president of the Center for Veterans Issues, inviting you to get involved in supporting the CVI mission. The Center for Veterans Issues is proud to serve veterans across Wisconsin. Each year, we help more than 1,200 veterans stay housed, find meaningful employment, and connect with the support they've earned. From housing assistance and job training to case management and suicide prevention outreach, our team is here to help veterans build stable, independent lives. If you're a veteran in need of support, visit cvivet.org. Donations can also be accepted at cvivet.org/donate.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
If oil gets to $90 a barrel, I'll be able to pay off my house. I think war is awful. It's terrible. It doesn't resolve things. It creates long-lasting hatred and even more conflict that the American people are always going to find themselves involved in.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
But if I don't have a mortgage, you know what I mean? You take the good with the bad. Didn't Donald Trump say he was going to end the wars? You can't have America first if you're involved in all these foreign wars. And there's people that believed him when he said that. He doesn't like wars. He said it many times. Said on the campaign trail.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
He's bombed just as much in his first year as any warmongering hawk president we've ever seen since World War II.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, sponsored by FidelityWealthManagement.com. MoviePass CEO Stacy Spikes wants a piece of the growing prediction market pie with his new platform called Mogul, where you can creatively bet on the success of your favorite movie stars and films. Spikes told Bloomberg he's building the model around sports betting, which he says drives engagement for leagues.
When people are doing that, they go to the games and watch the games 75% more. Okay. So the more that you're engaged in outcome and what you think is going to happen, the more likely you are to go to the movies.
Spikes in a conversation with Bloomberg TV's Romaine Bostick. It's a bold strategy, but Spikes thinks it could be the film industry's next big thing.
When you're doing sports are regional. Well, when something like Wicked opens, it opens worldwide. So you have no impediment to worldwide growth, so it could grow very fast.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This True Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Brewers set for Game 2 of their series against Boston tonight, coming off a win over the Red Sox 8-6 on Monday. It got a little hot last night. Wilson Contreras had words with starter Brandon Woodruff after being hit by a pitch on the hand. Contreras then slid hard to second base. Manager Pat Murphy earlier today.
What happens on the field takes care of itself. You know, I mean, and I'm not going to comment on Wilson's comments. I've competed against Wilson for a lot of years and respect him as a player and has great talent.
It's a 5:45 first pitch, coverage starting at 5 o'clock on our sister station, WTMJ. And in men's college hoops.
Hail to the champions! Hail to Michigan for the first time in 37 years.
The final call on CBS. Michigan was able to hold on to beat UConn 69-63. It's the first men's basketball championship for the Big Ten in 26 years. This True Sports Update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1-4. Say your name. Tory Low, Tory Low. Yeah. On the block by the courthouse. Phone ring, he already know. Mama crying in the hallway. Who gon' speak? She say, Tory Low. North side, south side. Same pain, same tears on a different door. He the one they call when they can't breathe, when they can't take it anymore. Advocate, Tory Low. He gon' ride when it's time.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Low Show. Joining me as we broadcast live, advocate, author Elizabeth Brown. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, salute, King. All is well.
It's a lot going on. I know you. When you chime in about what's going on with NPS, but they got something going on with NPS where NPS parent, student, teacher groups demand reversal of job cuts. They trying to, reverse the job cuts. We didn't think we was going to land here because they said the referendum was supposed to solve all of this. Supposed to give more money and solve all this. I guess we find ourselves in a drama series called NPS right now. We got some video. I want you to watch this. I want to get your opinion on this. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. Let's listen.
With 200 plus jobs on the chopping block.
It takes time, and what we're asking for is that to be done thoughtfully.
Milwaukee Public Schools Teachers Union and parent and student groups are asking for a pause.
This is beyond rushed.
Sending this letter to the school board Monday with a list of demands, asking the board halt the superintendent's, quote, haphazard and harmful centralized budgeting process and reverse the 201 job cuts.
It's not accurate to say that these were just central office cuts or that these were high-level cuts, these are impacting every single one of our school communities.
70 of the jobs are based in central office, 62 are support staff, and 59 of them are assistant principals, like at Golda Meir.
I see how hard she works. She has engagement not only with our kids, but also as a parent. I was just shocked at how very quickly she grew to know me and my kids and my family.
It's a very challenging budget year for us and very difficult. Obviously, we value all of our employees, so I just want to make sure that that's clear.
Superintendent Brenda Caselli is defending the district's decisions, saying a pause is just not on the table.
Is that an option?
Yeah, so we have a statutory obligation by May to pass a balanced budget. And so we need to have hearings. In May, we need to be able to bring it to the board. Then we have to have that final vote sometime in June for our budget to be done.
All right. Elizabeth Brown, they got a bad budget of $45 million they got to try to balance. It's going to take some tough cuts.
They should have cut some of her
referendum. Yeah, I mean, I'm just
saying. Look, cut some of her pay.
I don't think
okay,
that's
first
enough.
of all, the superintendent.
That may take a 200. That may, if they cut half of her pay, it'll be $200,000 out of $45 million. So
absolutely. However, okay, because I mean, it's easy to say this is a failing system. First of all, let's put that out there. Okay, this is a system that has repeatedly failed. MPS, just like CPS, been a mess. Okay, we know that. However, all I'm saying as a property owner in the city of Milwaukee, I'm not getting no cuts. Okay, my property tax not getting cut. So my thing is, they knew when they bamboozled and hoodwinked the people for all of those dollars. And again, there's going to be another. Here we come. It's voting time. There's going to be another one in 2026, I think. Don't quote me. I mean 2027 budget for more money. Again, what are we doing with the money we already had? Because again, just like the Uncommon Council, every time they say they doing something to save something, we lose more than what they say they were saving. We didn't rally, and I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Tory, the MTA or whatever, MTEA, those were the individuals that was bullying the parents. Am I correct?
We was right there. It's on video. We got the video of it.
They was rallying.
It went
Matter of
viral
fact,
on TikTok.
That part. Calling themselves weaponizing the police against the parents. And look, when the chickens come home to roost, now they want to put the budget on hold. But when we were saying say no, but for the taxpayers to have to pay more money, they said say yes. Okay, and now they realize that they was bamboozled too. It's all bad.
When you talk about $45 million budget in the hole, I already knew some cuts was gonna have to be made. Like that, some people would kick the rock down the street and try to let somebody else do it. But like I said, when you got to have a balanced budget and first of all, the paperwork wasn't even filled out to even get the state money. So there was so many different things that was going on with MPS financially that now here you go. And I feel like somebody got to make those tough decisions because you may not want things to be cut, but the mismanagement was egregious.
Come on, look here. And still is. When you go and get a school superintendent, because we was talking about Posley and how much he was making, okay? In a failing system. For them to pay for this woman who was failing where she was at. They paid for her move here. Again, when we're talking about the malfeasance that has taken place within NPS, and how the taxpayers was left holding the bag. And we still, like I said, we're on the brink of summer. The kids not going to be able to go to school if it gets so hot because there ain't no air conditioning. We're still talking about lead water, okay? They're talking about the upkeep, okay? Again, we're giving millions because every time they come and pull at the heartstring, the kids this, it's a bucket with a hole in it. NPS is a money pit. And the superintendent, how do the superintendent make that much money in a failing system?
Well, they still haven't
First
said
of all,
what happened with the finance person that came from Minnesota that was in the hole that was under investigation.
We still don't know.
Last thing I knew that he was on break or he was on, he was on leave, paid leave, collecting money from the system while being having an investigation done on his last job in Minnesota. So where is he at? What's the update on that?
Again, Tory, taxpayers, as I'm asking Chat GPT, how much money do we pour into NPS? Okay. It says, so taxpayers in Milwaukee have funded roughly 2.7 to 3 billion. Okay. Just between schooling and policing. Okay. So, I mean, again, here we are with them telling us what was going to happen when we said yes. The same people in the green shirts, MTEA, who was violating the parents, saying that they was for the kids, but say yes so we can get these raises. Now their jobs being cut, and they're saying, hold on, you got this superintendent who was a failure where she came from, telling us that the budget was going to get turned around. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. There's not going to be any cuts. And now she's saying we need to cut it.
Hey.
Okay, like.
Cut it.
So, who knows? Who knows what's happening from day to day?
Hey.
They don't know what the hell going on. The leaders don't know. Okay, especially when we're talking about this money. But one thing we do know, that's for sure and two for certain, her check gonna clear. A lot of the individuals who we say, again, they top heavy when you talking about, why do you need all of these people in the school system is failing? Because, again, have our kids' grades went up?
Here we go. Hey, look, when we come back, Elizabeth Brown, I want to get your final thoughts on the show today. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Low.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Low Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
Put Brewers weekends back on your schedule when the Crew take on the Nationals April 10th through the 12th. Collect a new Mish trading card bobblehead for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 11th, courtesy of Toyota. Then reserve Sunday for a full day of family fun. Kids can run the bases, get autographs, and the first 5,000 kids get a Brewers wiffle ball set, courtesy of Joy. Plus, it's a kids cheer free Sunday. Grab your seat at brewers.com/tickets.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 1017 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime. Because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get 1017 The Truth, Tory Low Show. Elizabeth Brown, a lot going on this election day. Supreme Court.
It is.
Up for grabs.
Absolutely.
And Trump even, you can comment on this as well. Trump said he was going, if they don't get their stuff together by 8 p.m., it's going to be, I guess, something going down tonight.
Look.
I don't know.
Hey, first of all, he's Trump. He definitely putting on a show. And how he putting on the show again. When we talk about violence every day and how to curb violence, and then you have the president promoting violence. Again, this is America. Is all I have to say about that. So when we talking about violence, and then you see what's going on in the news, what's going on in the world, what America is doing.
A whole civilization will die tonight. That's what they saying. If the deal with Iran ain't reached. They sound like Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Man.
Facts. Absolutely.
Just on a larger idea, yeah.
Absolutely. And the reality of that is, people losing their lives in real time. And again, it's bigger than what we know as a people. It's a lot of stuff happening, like right here in the city. Just keeping it locally, like the things these people do behind the scenes. We really don't have a clue what's going on. I know what we being told, but 9 times out of 10, it has already went down. It ain't going down. Decisions has already been, by the time we hear about it.
Chess, yeah.
Period. So, with that being said, I'm just, appalled by this NPS thing, knowing how much money the taxpayer continue to shovel out, and they tell us that if we do this, if we do that, this what we'll be, and that never happens. Okay, like we in a deficit still. Not only the school, the city, no matter. Again, it's a money pit at this point. At some point, we the people, we gonna have to figure something out. Because the people that we got in the head, either they real clever or extra dumb. Okay? Because it don't take nobody this long to figure out what's going on. Either they know ahead of time what they doing, or they running around blind. And I would bet that they know what the hell they doing. They definitely not that. Okay, like them the two options, but I'm telling you, either a genius or you a dummy, and these people know they robbing us. Again, we don't have anything to show for it. Okay, all the money in the last 5 years, we done gave $339 million. Okay, that were voted for it for MPS, Tory. in those referendums when we voted. Well, I didn't vote. Me and you said we wasn't gonna do it.
Well,
Because again, show me what you did with the last.
I voted no. Yeah.
I voted no too. Again,
I didn't vote
but show me
yes.
what you did with the last money.
But that's what I wanted. I wanted an account. I didn't want to just keep putting money into an empty hole. You know, we want to make sure that our school systems are working well, but we ain't even got an explanation from where the money went. So I felt like we needed to call a timeout, figure out where everything was, so we wouldn't run into nothing like this. Because now the budget's still messed up, and they still got to make the cuts.
Again, and our kids still not getting better. The system's still not getting better. Our children are still failing. So again, we're paying more and getting less. It's not making any sense. It's not adding up at the end of the day.
We ain't even getting what we had. Hold on, Liz. We ain't even getting out of this deal. We not even getting what we had because we losing vice principals in the deal. Like we losing like. We getting less in the deal.
We in the negative.
Yeah, this is the worst. This is
paying more.
We getting less out of the deal than we ever had, and the system wasn't even functioning right. So once these cuts is made, we getting less for the kids. We didn't get more. We got actually less than we ever had.
Tory,
at MPS.
The kids not getting nothing. They're being screwed.
What's less than nothing then?
Absolutely nothing. Okay, positively nothing. Again, we being robbed. Our children are being robbed, and at the end of the day, again, like I said, the individuals with the big paychecks that making the big decisions, because she's still gonna have health insurance. Okay, it ain't gonna skip a beat. Crime is definitely paying.
If I had a budget of $45 million, either you're going to kick the rock down the street or you're going to start making them tough cuts. And like I said, that's just what's going to happen. Now, they don't have to like it. But if I ain't got no money, what you gonna do? Keep running the system as a money
work for nothing?
Like you gotta balance the budget. And so all I'm saying is, it is what it is at this point. Because I said no to the referendum, but everybody who said yes and all of that, people thought that it was gonna be sunshine and
rainbows.
Rainbows. This was what we was trying to stop.
Facts.
Hey.
And here we go.
So now I just got the popcorn and the soda.
Hey, let it collapse.
To do a recall, and they,
all that.
We tried to do it. We tried to be about that action. Now I just got to sit back and look at it. Hey, I got the popcorn and the soda at this point.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Hey, God bless everybody.
Hey. Absolutely. I'm with you on that.
Hey, all right, Queen. Well, I appreciate you for being on the front lines as
happy
usual.
Tuesday.
Hey, happy Tuesday. We got a lot of work to do. Here we go. All right, salute to everybody that joined the show in the chat. Salute to everybody that called in and added to the show today. Another powerful chat. I appreciate everybody that joined the show in the chat. But look, with the MPS situation, a lot of people said no, voted no because they saw this coming. And a lot of people voted yes because they wanted to keep hope alive that MPS can thrive. Now we got this whole mess going on where they got to make the cuts, $45 million. And I'm just sitting back and we was trying to prevent it. We had a recall on the board. We was trying to do all of that back a couple 6, 7, 8 months ago because we was trying to prevent this very thing that was going on right now. So here we go. Keep your head on a swivel. Green don't always mean go, and look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you, Dr. Ken Harris. Up next.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks.